The complete guide to bodybuilding, everything you would like to understand. Want to gain muscle like you're paid to try to do it? Here's how. Cast aside preconceptions of juiced up gym brothers with veins for days. Once you strip it right back, bodybuilding is about just that, building your body. Just ask IFBB Pro Champ and USN Sports Nutrition Ambassador, Ryan Terry. Not only did the laborer-turned-lifter win the Arnold Classic in 2017, he was also the very best-placed Brit in Mr. Olympia. Therefore the competitive bodybuilder knows a thing or two about muscle mass. The majority of individuals think bodybuilders are mass monsters and usually not very healthy-looking people, Terry explains. But it's really anyone who is trying to build or sculpt their body. If you would like to urge serious about bodybuilding, you'll got to navigate your nutrition and training with military precision. Your regime will differ wildly if you're gunning for gains, bulking, vs shredding fat, cutting, 12 weeks out from a contest. Needless to mention, there's not much room for a Friday night pint in either of those. Let's not get before ourselves, this is often getting to be tough, but it's achievable. Here's everything a beginner must realize. Natural bodybuilding, including the great, the bad, and therefore the old school. Bodybuilding training splits. A question nearly every beginner asks: what percentage hours of coaching do you have to average every week to become bigger and more defined? The solution is this: it really depends on your training splits. There are variety of the way, however, you'll tackle them. For instance, splitting them by upper and lower body exercises, or that specialize in push and pull motions. Then even more ways of scheduling them: every other day, 4 days on 3 days off, and so on. Generally speaking, the simplest routine is the one that matches in together with your life. If Arnie's notoriously hardcore double split, 6 times per week, twice a day, doesn't really tie in together with your schedule, guess what? You're unlikely to stay at it. Terry follows the old school bodybuilding mentality of isolating each muscle group: back, shoulders, chest, legs and arms, on a 5-day cycle. If he's trying to grow a particular muscle group, he'll introduce a second workout on the 6th day. Each of Terry's workouts lasts between 60 and 90 minutes. Any longer and you're either not pushing yourself hard enough or you're talking too much, and he makes the foremost of every session by targeting different parts of every muscle. The best bodybuilding workouts. There are a couple of essential bodybuilding exercises to specialize in if you're after serious bulk. The staple compound lifts, things like squats, deadlifts, shoulder press, bench press are vital in any routine worth its salt. If you're ranging from scratch, do this simple but effective training split to start with. The bodybuilder's back workout for beginners. Wide grip pull down. 3 sets of 12 reps. Grip the bar with shoulder width palms facing away and your arms fully extended above your head. Don't recline as you pull the bar to the highest of your chest and hold it there for 2 seconds. Control the bar because it pulls itself back to the beginning position, aiming for a 3-second ascent with no pause at the highest of the movement. Bent over row. 3 sets of 12 reps. Grab a barbell with an overhand grip, hands slightly wider than shoulder width apart. Together with your legs slightly bent, keep your back perfectly straight and bend your upper body until it's almost perpendicular to the ground. From here, row the load upwards into the lower part of your chest. Pause. And return in check to the beginning position. Deadlift. 3 sets of 12 reps. Squat down and grasp a barbell together with your hands roughly shoulder width apart. Keep your chest up, pull your shoulders back and appearance straight ahead as you lift the bar. Specialize in taking the load back onto your heels and keep the bar as close as possible to your body in the least times. Lift to thigh level, pause, then return in check to the beginning position. The bodybuilder's chest workout for beginners. Incline press. 3 sets of 12 reps. Lie back on a bench set to an incline angle and lift a barbell to shoulder height, palms facing far away from you. Exhale as you press up with both arms. Exclude your arms and squeeze your chest before returning slowly to the beginning position. Decline press. 3 sets of 12 reps. Hold a dumbbell in each hand, shoulder width apart and overhand grip. Lie back on a decline bench and extend your arms straight above you. Lower the weights slowly until they reach your chest, then push the dumbbells back to starting position. Flat bench fly. 3 sets of 12 reps. Lie down on a bench holding 2 dumbbells at your shoulders together with your palms facing inwards. Press the dumbbells up until your arms are almost fully extended. This is often your starting position. From here, with a small bend in your arms, arc the weights right down to your sides until you are feeling a stretch across your chest. Squeeze your pecs to return the weights to the beginning position by reversing the movement. The bodybuilder's shoulder workout for beginners. Dumbbell lateral raise. 3 sets of 12 reps. Grab some moderately light dumbbells that you simply don't struggle to lift. Hold them next to your sides, with a small bend at your elbow. Stand together with your feet shoulder width apart and squeeze your core, bending your elbows. Raise your arms straight, bent your sides, maintaining your elbow position, until they reach shoulder height. Pause at the highest for a beat, then lower the weights at a controlled pace back to the starting position. Resistance band raise. 3 sets of 12 reps. Stand on a resistance band and hold the band with underhand grip about shoulder width apart. Curl the band until it's in line together with your collarbone and your forearms touch your biceps.
Bell and share.
Lower and repeat. Face pulls. 3 sets of 12 reps. Attach rope handles to the highest pulley on a cable machine. Kneel ahead of it with 1 foot forward and flat on the ground. Grab the handles and pull them towards your face, drawing your hands apart and taking care to stay your upper arms flat. Pause, then reverse the movement. The bodybuilder's leg workout for beginners. Barbell back squat. 3 sets of 12 reps. Stand together with your feet quite shoulder width apart. Hold a barbell across your upper back with an overhand grip, and hug the bar into your traps. Take the load of the bar and slowly squat down, head, back straight, buns out. Lower yourself until your hips are aligned together with your knees, with legs at 90 degrees. Drive your heels into the ground to push yourself explosively. Copy. Leg extension. 3 sets of 12 reps. Sit during a leg extension machine together with your ankles against the lower pad. Use your quads to barge and straighten your legs ahead of you, then return to the beginning position. Romanian deadlift. 3 sets of 12 reps. Stand behind a grounded barbell. Bend your knees slightly to grab it, keeping your shins, back and hips straight. Without bending your back, push your hips forwards to lift the bar. From upright, push your hips back to lower the bar, bending your knees only slightly. The bodybuilder's arm workout for beginners. Easy bar curl. 3 sets of 12 reps. Hold the easy bar ahead of your thighs on the outermost grips and palms facing far away from you. As you inhale, curl the bar until your hands are at your shoulders. Squeeze your bicep, then lower in check. Crossbody dumbbell hammer curl. 3 sets of 12 reps. Stand holding 2 dumbbells by your sides, palms facing towards one another. One at a time.
Don't forget to
curl
subscribe,
each weight up towards your
activate the
opposing
liking
shoulder.
bell, and share.
Return in check to the beginning position and repeat on the opposite side. Tricep rope push down. 3 sets of 12 reps. Attach a rope handle to the high pulley of a cable station. Keeping your elbows tucked in at your sides, grab the handle, tense your core, and convey your handle until your arms are fully extended, then return to the starting position. Only your forearms should move. Easy bar skull crusher. 3 sets of 12 reps. Hold the easy bar on the inner grips and extend your arms straight up. Keeping your elbows fixed and tucked in, slowly lower the bar until it's about an in from your forehead. Slowly extend your arms back to the starting position without locking your elbows. Different weight training sets. It's important to stay refreshing your routine, explains Terry. Once your body knows you're doing an equivalent thing week in, week out, it will make it easier. Your body naturally resists breaking down muscle groups and it'll adapt, i.e. plateau, to avoid doing this wherever possible. You don't got to design a fresh plan every 3 weeks. Scaling up weight and modifying reps are obviously both important for progression, but twiddling with different set styles will shock your body and keep things interesting. Remember, bodybuilding isn't meant to desire a chore. Below, we explain 8 differing types of sets to assist you build muscle more efficiently during bodybuilding training. 1. Straight sets. The standard way of arranging your workout. You perform variety of sets using an equivalent number of repetitions and using an equivalent weight, with a respite in between. You ought to start with this style and build up to the others. Example: 10 reps on the bench press, rest, and repeat. 2 drop sets. Drop sets allow you to continue your workout past the purpose that it might usually end. When your muscles are screaming no more, what they're forgetting to mention is, at that weight. By heaving less weight you can keep working out for longer.
Don't forget to subscribe, activate
Example,
the liking bell,
leg press
and
to
share.
failure. Reduce the load without resting. Leg press to failure with the new weight, then reduce the load without resting. Continue until you can't. 3. Superset. When 2 or more different exercises for opposing muscle groups are performed one after the other, without a rest period, upping the intensity, and allowing you to complete more work in less time. Example: 10 reps of bicep curls followed by 10 reps of tricep dips. Rest and repeat. 4 compound set. Similar to an excellent set, except you perform 2, or more, different exercises for an equivalent muscle group. Example, 10 bench presses followed by 10 press-ups. Rest and repeat. 5 pyramid set. Pyramid sets allow you to gradually up the intensity of your workout by increasing the weights and decreasing the reps with each progressive set. Bonus: the first set serves as a warm-up. Example, dumbbell chest press, build up the load so you'll complete 15 reps, then 12, then 10, then 8, then 6. No rest in between. 6 rest pause set. You're essentially breaking your set down into a bunch of mini sets with rest pause training, which allows you to continue past your usual point of failure. Example, 8 dumbbell preacher curls to failure, rest period, 3 reps to failure, rest period, 1 rep to failure. 7 time under tension. TUT time under tension training refers to how long a muscle is functioning during a group during the eccentric and concentric phase. If you perform 10 reps that take 3 seconds each to complete, your TUT is 30 seconds. Example, by taking longer to lift the weight, 2 seconds, pausing at the top, 1 second, and taking longer to lower the weight, 2 seconds, over 10 reps. You're clocking up 50 seconds of TUT for the exact same rep. Your muscle is just working considerably harder.
Don't forget to subscribe, activate
set.
the liking bell,
A
and
tricep
share.
is 3 different exercises for an equivalent part performed back to back with no rest in between. A giant set may be a tricep with additional exercises and sets. Example, 10 squats, 10 leg extensions, 10 lying hamstring curls. You hear it time and time again, but the most important thing is to listen to your body. I see how I feel on the day, affirms Terry. If I'm feeling strong, if I've had ample amounts of calories and rest, I will go for the heavier lifts, whereas if I'm dieting, I'm in a calorie deficit, I'm tired. Then I'll specialize in form and volume. And as for exercises to avoid? Tempting because it could be, refrain from ego lifting, he warns. Testing your 1RM might look cool, but it isn't an efficient way of building strength, more of a fast track to injury. Back in the day, people would lift as heavy as they could, thinking that's going to get them bigger, says Terry. Nowadays they're a lot more educated. It's about form and mind to muscle connection, instead of just mass weight on a bar. Cardio for bodybuilding. Weight training is your priority, but that doesn't mean you'll give cardio a good berth. It all comes down to your end goal. If you are looking to compete, cardio plays an enormous part, says Terry. If you're 12 weeks out from a competition, you want to maintain as much muscle as possible while torching fat from every angle. This means low-intensity cardio. High-intensity cardio speeds up your metabolism and burns fat very quickly, so you run the risk of burning muscle too. Terry says either very first thing within the morning on an empty stomach, or immediately after your weights session, once you've depleted those glycogen levels. If you're bodybuilding for health benefits, cardio can still play a neighborhood, but you'd approach it very differently. Between 2 and 3 sessions per week is a good ballpark for bodybuilding beginners. Bodybuilding diet. Clichés exist for a reason. You genuinely can't outtrain a bad diet.
Don't forget to subscribe,
it's as simple
activate the
as
liking
that.
bell, and share.
Once you get your head around bodybuilding nutrition, Terry says, everything else will fall into place. I would really focus on learning how macros work, how your body works and how it reacts to certain foods, and what your body requires each day to maintain your weight, he advises. Then you can start playing around with increasing calories to bulk up, and decreasing calories when you're dieting. Our beginner's guide to macros will definitely help with your bodybuilding meal plan. First up, ditch processed foods, that includes cafe sandwiches and crisps, in favor of complex carbohydrates, protein, and many of fats. Improve the standard of your food, and you will find you'll eat more, says Terry. You can metabolize it a lot better. Terry eats 6 big meals per day, supplemented with 2 protein shakes. Avocado, eggs, salmon, mackerel, and steak all feature heavily, alongside a good amount of vegetables for the micronutrients. If the prospect of chowing down 6 times a day makes you feel queasy, start small. You're still more happy having 6 smaller meals or meals and snacks than counting on 3 big meals to burn fat, advises Terry. Imagine you've fasted for over 8 hours, he says. At breakfast, you're firing your metabolism off really high. If you don't eat for another 5 hours, your metabolism starts to slow right down and you have to try and kickstart it again with your next meal. If you eat every 2.5 to 3 hours, it's like chucking a go online a burning fire. When Terry's dieting for a show, every calorie counts, but otherwise he takes a far more relaxed approach. Constantly monitoring calories and macros can burn you out once you've found out your own individual needs. View them as a reference instead of religion. Bodybuilding diet, cheat meals. You can't scroll through Instagram without clocking a mammoth cheat day feast, but are real-life bodybuilders consuming such a crazy amount of calories every couple of weeks?
Don't forget to subscribe, activate the liking bell,
Terry's
and
bodybuilding
share.
diet incorporates refeed days, which suggests he eats the precise same food, but essentially doubles the portion sizes. It will only be effective if you are low in body fat and fully depleted of energy. It reboots your metabolism, firing it copy to start out burning at a better rate again, and provides you better pump so when you're training, it forces blood around your body, says Terry. It also impacts your lectin levels and cortisol levels and hormones. If you're not preparing for a show or you're simply looking to fill out your shirt, Terry advises avoiding cheat days and refeeds and take a more chilled approach at the weekend instead. Every weekend I'll have at some point where I'm relaxed and don't believe what I'm eating, he says. You need that sanity. Some people have these cheat days and they just go absolutely insane. You can actually create dietary problems doing that. Your body isn't wont to it. Bodybuilding supplements. It can be easy to get swept up in bodybuilding supplements, but Terry reckons there are just 2 worth splashing cash on. Firstly, a quality whey protein. He recommends USN's Blue Lab Whey, which combines whey isolate, whey concentrate, and hydrolyzed whey twice a day, first thing in the morning, and post-workout. The reason for that is the absorption rate, he explains. It's the only reason you'd pick a supplement over a solid meal. A chicken breast will take 2 to 3 hours to digest, whereas a whey protein will take an hour. When you're in your anabolic window and you need to replenish all your glycogen cells, whey protein is the best option. He also recommends sourcing a decent BCAA supplement to take pre and intra-workout and round out your bodybuilding diet. It helps the breakdown of muscle, counteracts fatigue, and starts the recovery process, he says. Bodybuilding tips: a final word. Nail your nutrition, work smarter within the weights room, and shake up your set styles. When you put it that way, it sounds easy. But there are two more pieces to the puzzle.
Don't forget to subscribe,
the first is recovery.
The liking bell, and
get to
share.
know your foam roller. I've been training for 15 years, but I've only really began to stretch pre and post workout within the last 5 years, says Terry. That was one of my schoolboy errors. I just used try and lift heavy weights, and that's when I created quite a few injuries. Now I have physio every week. Our beginner's guide to mobility and stretching will see you right. The second? Dedication. It's cheesy, but the only way you're going to progress is by sticking to your plan. If you're serious about scoring bodybuilder muscle, there is no space for pizza and pints. You have to commit. You now know all there is to know. The next step is up to you.
Don't forget to subscribe, activate the liking bell, and share.